Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Alakazam Video Blog. How are you? Good?
Yes, I'm good. You alright?
Not bad. Well, are you good or are you not so good?
No, I'm good.
You've got something on your finger. What's that then?
Oh, yeah, look at this.
I tell you what, been complaining about it all day. Shuffle along, mate. You're right near the edge. Shuffle more in the middle. You've been complaining about it all day. What did you do? Did you chop off your finger? Did you get run over by it?
I might as well have chopped off my finger. I got paper cut. Right? Everybody knows how much a paper cut kills, right? And I was speaking to your dad about this earlier on. Paper cuts, when you get them, they're always at the tip of your fingers, or they're always in the crease of the fingers. It's never sort of like in a place where you can kind of just forget about it. It's always in a bit where, you know, you go pick something up and you're like, ow. So, yeah.
Peak times, yeah. Let us know, guys, if you ever suffer from paper cuts. And would you go to the extreme of talking about it for the next 2 years?
Ooh.
I'm not saying you did. I'm saying you guys.
I think that was a bit of a dig.
Yeah,
actually.
What, me?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, right. Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah.
Dig away.
Right. Anyway, moving on. We've got a lot of stuff here. Can I show you this, or is this not part of it?
No, we're going to come to that in a minute. Well, you can show. You can pick it up. Yeah.
We've got another little thing down there. Bang.
Oh, that was a quick old shot there. So,
right.
Okay. So, what have we got in store here? Well, I tell you what. Let's talk about this first, because this seems to be one of this. No, why are you moving stuff?
Oh. What? Your kid's there?
Yeah.
Flipping out! Right, okay.
Did you not get the memo?
No, I didn't.
Right, okay. Let's talk about TK Bolt. So, we love to look for things that are a little bit quirky, a little bit unusual, a little bit out of the way, not a card trick, not a mentalism thing as such. We stumbled across, purely by accident, because one of our customers brought it in and showed us, the TK Bolt, the Marvellous TK Bolt. We got in a batch of them before Christmas, and they went like that, and then we got some more, and they went
We literally got 100 in, they sold out in the same day, got another 100 in, sold out in the same day.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
And then we couldn't get hold of them for a little while, but they are back in stock. I didn't bring the whole thing around with me, I just brought this because I think this is really intriguing for people, but normally what you would have is you would have 3 cards here as well, with the coloured bolts on them. So if you just explain what the effect is.
So basically you get the little bottle, as Andy said, you get 3 cards, and then you get these. So you get a little nut and bolt with a coloured sleeve on it, which corresponds to the card. So obviously we've got a red one, a yellow one, and a green one. Your spectator shuffles up the cards, thinks of any one of the colours, and then you place the bolts in here. So you place them in, chuck them in there like so, screw the lid, and then say, for example, you're thinking of yellow, right? You give them a mix up, they can shake it as well. You want to give it a shake? This is good because your spectator can shake it, So you shake it, so think of a colour, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then when you set the lid off, you were thinking of yellow, right? Hopefully, one bolt has undone itself, and there you go. Look, green bolt, still screwed on. Red bolt, still screwed on. The yellow bolt has undone itself.
So, if you want to see how clean this looks during performance, like a real live performance, then here is a trailer or a performance of TK Bolt.
H,
alright.
I'm going to show you something now that I don't even quite understand how it works. Right. It just works every time. I don't understand it. Inside here I have some nuts and bolts, right? And there's like a little plastic tube on each one to give it a different colour. So you can check them out, they are what they are. There's nothing special going on there, and I have some matching cards here as well, so red, green and yellow to match the bolts. Okay, so just check that all of these bolts are on.
Might give that a little bit more, but that's fine.
Nicely checked. Okay, I want you to now pick up these cards, turn them face down and mix them. Okay, and when you're happy, place one down here and place your hand on it. If we were standing up, I'd say put it in your pocket and put the other 2 here.
This one.
Okay, so you don't want these ones as well?
I don't want them,
Okay, you have it in your hand one colour. I'm going to place inside the tube these nuts and bolts. Okay, shake them down there. And all I'm going to do is shake them. Now for the first time, can you have a look at what colour you picked?
Red, nice.
Red, okay. Now notice here, all I'm doing is shaking. And yet, something bizarre has happened because I can't get to the nuts and bolts, but if I just undo the lid and I tip them out, you'll see one has tied itself, and that is the red one there is no longer in one piece, but the other two are still together.
Fully screwed.
I don't understand how it works, it just works.
That is sick. I don't know how it works, but that's sick, man. It's fantastic, and the good thing is everything's examinable beforehand and after. You don't have to touch. Well, I mean, you got to put the bolts in there, but apart from that, you ain't got to do anything.
Yeah, but like you said, it's examinable before and after, and they really can think of one of the bolts, and this is what happens. So if you're after something that you can carry around in your pocket, that isn't a card trick, isn't a coin trick, and is something a little bit more different.
Fool's magician.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, very much so. And if you wanted something that you can carry around with you and looks immediately appealing, you know, you get this out and you show it to a spectator, they're going to be like, oh, what's that? And then you go into the effect. Yeah. Honestly, you're going to blow their minds away with just such a simple pocket effect, but
great
a strong pocket
great
effect.
for all ages as well. That's another great thing. And it's good because it's so cheap. What is it, $14.99 or something like that?
Yeah, it might even be cheaper than that.
Really?
Yeah,
it's
might
bloody
be
good.
But check it out on our site. That is TK Bolt. So, Harry, at the beginning of the week, I added onto the site the new Alan Rawlinson DVD with Big Blind Media, Digits of Deception. And I know that you talked about it briefly on the live, but I just wanted to talk a little bit more about this. Alan Rawlinson is, quite rightly, as R. Paul Wilson puts him, the Q of the magic world. So, if James Bond was a magician, Alan Rawlinson would be Q. And I think that's justified, really. I mean, the man is very good at coming up with offbeat presentations, offbeat methods, and kind of making magic that is off the beaten track. It's very quirky, it's very unusual and very good at the same time, and also very easy to do,
which is good
to add. So I'll be the first to admit I wasn't overly familiar with all of Alan's work. Some of it I have seen before in previous that he's released before, and so I thought when Digits of Deception comes in, I'm going to have a look at it. Owen at Big Blind Media sent me a message, private messaged me and said, take a look at this trailer. So I was like, wow, okay. And the trailer was for an effect on here. It's the first effect on here called Static. So before we go any further, let's take a look at the trailer or the performance of Static from Digits of Deception.
So, Amelia, I'm sure you're getting tired of seeing like card tricks and kind of stuff like that just now, so we'll torture you with one more if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Do me a favour, just see a card. As you go by, just name it out loud.
7 of diamonds.
Did you see it go by?
Yeah.
There it is, right there. Beautiful card. Can you just pop your name on there for me on the face side?
This side?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is one of my favourite things to do. Beautiful. We'll grab that back.
Okay.
If you take your hand, let's put that here, take your hand and just rub it gently. You can have it so it'll jump up and pop up, right? Now just rub it gently, just put your hand over it, about there. And it'll pop up for you. Now, here's the thing. You're going to think there's something stuck on the back of it that's pushing it up.
Yeah.
Check it on out, there surely isn't. And you can also check out the entire deck.
Yeah, yeah.
No little weird springs, no little weird strings or anything in that's going to make that work for you.
No.
That would be good though, wouldn't it?
So that's the amazing Static.
It looks awesome.
It does look awesome, and you saw me do it the other day. I showed you and your dad the effect.
It looks even better in real life.
It does.
When it's right there, you're like, bloody hell.
Yeah, and this is the thing, right? The reason that I mention this is because I watched the video, and it was when Owen sent it to me, I was like, do you know what? That looks so neat. I'll be the first to admit it's not the sort of effect or magic that I would immediately jump to, but something about it just caught my eye and I was like, well, do you know what, that looks really quirky. So I had a look at it, I had a look at the method. I was pleasantly surprised by the way that it worked, to the point where when I was watching it, I sort of like chuckled to myself because I thought, I have an idea of how you could possibly do it, but then when I was told how it was done, I was like, oh,
it's wicked as well. No magnets, no threads, nothing like that.
Exactly, and that kind of set the tone for the rest of the DVD. Everything on there is practical, it's strong, It's killer magic and certainly worth checking out. So again, much with like the TK Bolt, if you're looking for something different, then you really need to check out this DVD, because there are a dozen effects on here. Some with cards, most without, which is good. But all stuff that you're going to go away performing.
He does a good key through ring thing, which is good, and you can borrow both the objects as well, so you can borrow the key and you can borrow the ring, which is wicked. And it's something where, once again, you're like, I haven't got anything on me.
Yeah.
Have you got ring, have you got key?
Yeah.
Sorted.
So Digits of Deception is up on our website. Check it out. If you're after something different, then this is the DVD that could be for you.
Definitely, mate.
Definitely.
Sweet. Also, it's available in download format.
It is available in download format, yes.
But we have got the DVDs for those of you who like to keep the DVDs. And it's quite nice to have it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's there. Lovely jubbly with TK Bolt.
Yes.
What next?
So I think that we should talk about a few books.
A what?
A few books.
Okay, yeah.
A few books, yeah.
I'm up for that.
So first off, The Shift, Volume 2. So for those of you that may be new to Benel material, maybe you've seen the Past Midnight DVD set, or The Shift 1, or maybe you had Ben lecture at your club or seen it at a convention, you know that this is a magician that you really need to be listening to. And the same is true with The Shift 2. If you are new to this sort of material and you like Ben's thinking, then this makes an ideal sort of addendum to The Shift 1, certainly, and certainly carries on his thought process with regards to performing magic, performing card magic, and sort of an approach to sleight of hand. So if you've not checked it out already, we have these in stock. Check out The Shift 2 on our website.
Lovely. And it's still, hands down, Past Midnight is one of the best card DVDs there's ever been.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Hands down.
There's no doubt about it.
No doubt about
honestly?
it. So check out Shift 2 on our site.
Wicked.
The other one that I wanted to mention is this.
And I've got a quick mention after as well.
Have you really?
For a book, yes.
Oh, a book?
Yep. Not Mr. Brown Hat.
Oh, right, okay.
Mr. Green Hat.
Mr.
No,
Green.
joking. He's a So, what's this
Charlie
about?
and the Cheese Monster. So this is the Illusionear. So I picked up this book a week or so ago, and it's lovely. It really is. I mean, the moment
it looks nice.
You did that straight away, like you did with Pure Imagination. I was talking about that. You were kind of like, oh,
it is nice,
yeah.
isn't it?
It is, right? And do you know what? It's a big, meaty book.
Yeah, that is.
So for the name Carlos Ferreira is probably not going to mean a lot to most people that are watching this vlog. The reason I say that is because he's, as far as I'm aware, he's been off the magic scene for a little while. I don't think he's necessarily stopped doing magic, but he's certainly been off the scene for a while. Right. And he's not normally a name that crops up. Interestingly, when I mentioned the name to Peter earlier on, he said, "Oh, Carlos Ferreira is great. He used to be on the Paul Daniels Magic Show," and he was. He was on the Paul Daniels Magic Show a couple of times. And much like the magicians of the time, people like Michael Vincent, René Levon, Darwin Ortiz, they were kind of like these speciality close-up acts that you got on there occasionally, and you kind of watch them and go, "Oh my God, that is brilliant." Yeah, and I certainly have memories of watching Carlos Ferreira do something like the Muscle Pass for the first time. It was the first time I see it, and was absolutely blown away.
Can you do that?
No,
that hurts so bad.
No, I kind of cheat a little bit, just like just throw it. But it was certainly the first time that I saw it on here. Lovely, beautiful card magic, very graceful, very elegant, much in the vein of people like Bernard Belize and such like. So when this came out, I was immediately sort of like, "Oh, I've got to get this book. I've got to see what the material's like." And I was not disappointed. This is another cracking release. It's a fantastic book. I'm only about a quarter of the way through it because there's other things I've been concentrating on in between. But
Well,
honestly,
nice font, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so well laid out. It's explained really clearly. You've got thoughts in here from Carlos himself about performing magic, different types of magic, approaching sleight of hand, approaching misdirection. There's some sleights that you learn in here. There's tons of routines, both card and coin. Well, that's what I've come to thus far. So it is really, really very good. Do you want to see a trick from there?
You going to show me one?
Yes,
yeah,
I'm going to show you one. So I'm going to show you the first trick in here, which is called the Queen's Shadow. And let's take a look. Harry,
yo!
We're going to try something out with a deck of cards. It only uses a few cards. In fact, it just uses these two cards here, which happen to be the two queens, which we're going to leave just there.
Lovely cards.
Okay. So the two queens, the two red queens.
Yeah.
Now, apart from the queens, we also need some other cards. So I'm going to just cut these into two packets like this, and we're going to place them. Sorry, just on the queens.
Okay.
All we have to do is just wait 2 seconds. 1, 2. And if we do that, each of the queens will rise to the top of each of the packets. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, yeah, but there was a queen on the bottom here, and there was a queen on the bottom here. But actually, these are just the shadows of the queens that were there before.
Bloody hell.
Now, we have here 4 queens. Do you happen to have a favourite queen?
Yeah, I have actually.
Okay. What was it?
It's the Queen of Hearts.
The Queen of Hearts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basic.
So, out of all of the queens that are here, the Queen of Hearts is the one that you prefer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll leave those there for just a second. I also need you to cut the deck for me. In fact, could you cut into 4 approximately equal piles? So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. I'm not the best at this, but I'll give it my best shot.
No, that's fine. Perfect.
That
is pretty good,
That's not bad
actually. So look, I'm going to place each one of the cards just on here, and we'll leave your queen just over here. So if I was to mix these up now,
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Slight
right.
stumble there. Where's the queen?
There.
Oh, sorry, I left it face up. Didn't I? Let's try
Too
it.
easy.
Yeah, it was a little bit, wasn't it? Let's try it again. Oh God.
Oh,
okay.
I can't tell whether that was a bluff or not.
Yeah. Okay. So where do you think?
I'm going to say the far packet.
Oh, you did it as well.
Get in there.
That was pretty good. But the queen doesn't like being on its own, so what it does is it brings this queen, and this queen as well. But the queens, they don't like being on their own, right? This would actually make a fairly good poker hand, but what would be better is if we had 1, 2, 3, 4 aces as well.
Nice.
Fine.
Watch your paper cut. That's fantastic, that.
And that's the Queen's Shadow from the
hell.
Illusionear by Carlos Ferreira.
Well, that is fantastic.
Yeah, so that's the Queen's Shadow from the Illusionear book.
I'll tell you what, that's fantastic, because when you cut the cards,
Yeah.
and put them down, I saw the cards on the faces
Yeah.
of them on the packets, and then there were black queens in the bottom, so I don't know how that works.
Yeah. Ooh.
I saw the 7 of spades, mate.
Yeah.
Where the hell did that guy do it, mate?
Well, you know, and that's the thing, isn't it? It's a beautifully structured routine, much like all of the rest of the material that's in the book, and I can't wait to get even further in it because I'm loving it thus far. Interestingly, and I don't think that people will mind me saying this here, this has come up recently in a discussion because me and a couple of other friends of mine have started up a WhatsApp book group.
Oh wow!
Right. So what happens is we have a trick a day, a trick from a book a day. So we will choose tricks from different books. We'll talk about them. We'll describe the effect. We'll describe what we like about it, what we don't like about it, and then some suggestions for changes. And what's really interesting is there after the performance, you said to me off camera, "Oh, could these be kings?" So you could pair them up at the end. And part of the discussion, because I used the first vector in here as a trick, one of the tricks a day, and the feedback I got back was, "Oh, it sounds really great." But one of the things I said that I would change is not having the aces at the end, but have the kings. So then you do like a royal marriages thing, so they pair up. So it's interesting that you thought along the same sort of line that, you can have them pair up at the end. Yeah. So obviously
great minds,
exactly. But it truly is a very, very good book. So if you haven't checked out Carlos Ferreira or you don't know the name, then take my word for it. It's a magician that you want to buy this book to read more about because it is seriously.
Maybe we can create a Facebook page and do that book a day thing. So that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah,
if you would be
it's
up
really
for
good.
Because obviously everyone can input, can't they?
Yeah. So far, I mean, if you think about it, because it's actually I correct myself. It's not necessarily a book a day, but it's a trick a day.
Yeah, from
right?
a book. Yeah,
from a book. We have elaborated a little bit to make it also possibly a sleight or a move that you've learned.
Something from a book.
Yeah, but so far it's been a trick a day. There's 4 of us in it, it's 4 of us in it. One of which is actually quite a well-known magician, and it's fun. It really is, because what happens as well is that I might say, "Oh, have you seen this from the Alakazam book, for example?" And then one of the others will go, "No." And then they go look at it and they go, "Oh, that's similar to this." And then what happens is once you describe your trick a day, it then sort of splinters off.
That's wicked.
Other versions. Out of This World came up recently. I posted a bit on there about Out of This World from a book called Secrets Drawn from Underground.
Right.
And that prompted other members of the group to go, "Oh, there's a really good version of this. Oh,
nice.
Oh, that's really good." And also how people get over things they don't like as well.
Yeah.
Don't like this, so this is what I would change.
That's good that you got different people in the group as well, because it's very hard when you're doing something to just take a step back from it, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, no, I do. I do. Sorry, your coughing threw me off then.
Yeah, sorry.
You're right. You're getting. You talk about magic with people that are in your normal circle of magic friends. Then you always kind of get those opinions.
Yeah, exactly.
And not everybody's comfortable sometimes saying what they think about a certain trick that you show them or anything like that. Whereas in this, you kind of have the fact that it's on WhatsApp to people to allow them to maybe express themselves a bit more freely, and also it's it just shows the sort of different books that you're reading as well.
It's cool because there's always so many. I bet there's a million tricks that have never really broke the barrier that have been absolutely outstanding. And I bet it's the same with books. There's so many where even if it's just one trick, it's amazing, but just some reason just gets missed.
And we don't kind of say, "Oh right, today we've done a trick from the Illusionear, and that's it. You can't talk about it again." Yeah, it might be that one of the other members of the group has that book, and then they go, "Oh, actually, have you checked out this?"
That's good.
And then they describe that effect, what they like, what they dislike, what they might change. And it's a may change. It's not necessarily I will change it.
Yeah, and there may be even just one sentence of pausing at a certain point, and then you can add that to something else. Do you know what I mean? That's a really good idea. I think a Facebook page would be good, and we can have we can list everyone in there and have a rota.
Yeah. There we go.
Whatever you want. If you want to do that as well.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be good. So certain food for thought. But yeah, check out both books that we've talked about here today, because we know that you're going to love them.
Absolutely. One quick book that I was just going to say, The Green Neck System was really good.
Green Neck System. Oh yes, yeah.
Really.
Who wrote that?
I forgot their name. I thought it had an R as a surname.
Rasmus?
Maybe something like that. Maybe.
Check it out.
But yeah, basically it's a fantastic principle pretty much, and you can do it over the phone as well. So they can have 3 objects in front of them. They can think of anyone, and you can tell it one they're thinking of over the phone.
Right.
So stuff like that is fantastic. It's a big book. It's quite pricey, but it is worth it. Like the stuff you can do with it.
Yeah. And you're away this weekend, and you were just saying that you were going to take a book away with you to read. So what one did you decide on?
Well, less is more, or pure effects. And Andy said, go for pure effects.
Yeah, go for pure effect. Yeah.
So I'm gonna read pure effects.
Fair enough. I mean, both books are great.
I'm really excited actually, because I love the idea of reading it. I just can't get it in my head.
Yeah.
I was sitting there. You know what I struggle with, yeah? If it says, now place a packet down on the table and then another one there, and then put the card on top of the packet, even if they said which packet, I'll still get confused. I'm like, what do I do here? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
hard to kind of...
the thing is that what we've said before, books are like, magic books certainly are like technical manuals, and no one really likes reading a technical manual, and you have to be really kind of on point about what you're describing. And so, all I would say is, when you're doing it, when you're working through it, kind of think what logically should happen next.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that way, if you're ever undecided, then you try it, and if it doesn't work that way, then you go, oh, actually, it should have been the other way.
I'm sure. Wait, just one last quick thing. I'm sure there's people out there that like me that want to read magic books, but that struggle a little bit. Who are good authors to read from?
Paul Gordon.
Yeah.
Paul Gordon's a good author, and John Carey, purely because they're very succinct in what they say.
Right.
Yeah, so they're very sort of like, I guess, describe things in. Not that they skip over stuff, but they will describe it rather than taking 4 pages to describe an effect.
Yeah.
They may only take 2 because they cut out the needless, sort of like writing. The shift books are very well written in that respect. Again, kind of cut to the point.
Yeah.
Some of the older books, I mean, classic writers such as Stephen Minch. And Mike Maxwell, who recently passed away, they're written the way that they should be written. But I guess it depends on really what's being described.
Okay.
And we've let's take the Larry Jennings book, the classic magic Larry Jennings. When Mike Maxwell wrote that, Jennings may have gone into much more detailed routining and sleight of hand, and so it needed that amount of time and sort of space to describe.
Okay.
Whereas now, now we're more familiar with those sleights. Maybe when it comes to writing, you can kind of gloss over them a little bit. So you're not necessarily going to need to start re-describing things like the Elmsley count or this or that, because most people now are familiar with it. And as soon as you get to it, you go, "Oh right, Elmsley." Whereas then there may have been more need to elaborate a little bit more. So there's that. Andy Gladwin is very good at succinct writing. So that's very good.
I tried to start with the Magic Rainbow. Is that good?
Yeah, I mean
that's a
big thick book.
That is a bulky book.
But I mean it's trying to convey the message across. But Vernon had this great thing where you look at the way that he approached Erdnase, for example, which was the book that was closely associated with him. He read between the lines. He kind of like made the logical sort of connect.
Yeah, right.
So the more magic books you read, the more connections you'll make.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. I feel like once you get through a couple, you'll be good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a bit like...
Yeah, there's no point getting to, you used to get something like the Magic Rainbow and it described things in there that you'd never ever experienced before, then you're going to go, you're going to feel deflated. Whereas if you start with like smaller text or smaller sort of principles that have been explored before and they make sense to you, then when you start to expand that, you'll be like, oh right, okay, so I know what he's talking about a bit more there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I feel like maybe start with a smaller book. You know what I mean? It's manageable. When the end's in sight, you're working towards something.
Yeah, I mean the thing, like with a lot of magic, when a new book comes out, if you're a bibliophile and you like books like I do, immediately a book comes out, your first inclination might be, I've got to have it because it's a book, it's a magic book, right? So I guess, don't run before you've had the chance to walk, and you kind of stop and go, hang on, right? As much as I really, really want that book to be on my shelf, I really need to sort of like build up to it.
But like you said, the shift 1 and 2 are written, so if you are new to book reading, magic book reading that is, you'll be able to follow these. Which is obviously good to know, because I struggle sometimes.
Yeah, and the same is true with Illusionear. It's written in a very good way. Or it's translated written in a very good way. That is clear. The illustrations are clear, the points are clear, so it makes it a more enjoyable read.
Also, just out of context, anyone who wants to learn the Elms account, Camouflage, one of our new releases, we had a customer come in the other day and said he's never been able to do the Elms account properly, like the teaching's always a bit confusing. But he said, because we obviously break it down on the videos and that, and he said it's very easy to follow. So if any of you are struggling with the Elms account, check out Camouflage, because you'll learn the Elms account and you get a great trick to use with it. On
the back of that as well, because we had similar sort of conversation from customers about Promnesia, which is been out a little while now. But when me and Dave filmed that, part of the feedback that we got from it was the fact that we went through, the sort of tips on the House account on there. So worth checking out.
Wicked, yeah. So make sure you check them out, guys. And that's one thing we do try and do, is make sure it's clear as possible.
Clear as possible.
Well, wicked.
So I think that now's a good time to look at the Andy versus Harry challenge.
Absolutely correct.
So let's run BT. So, welcome to this week's Andy versus Harry challenge. This has been running for a few weeks now. I can't remember who sent it in, but it was a Peter Nardi effect.
P-Schnid.
The other one that we chose last week, which was by Johnny Coates, was to do with a coin and card effect. Not necessarily Matrix, but a coin and card effect. So that will come next week.
Yeah.
We're not going to announce one today because we need to get back on track.
Yeah.
So that will come next week, and then we'll be back on track. But this week, the Peter Nardi effect. It wasn't as easy as what I thought it was going to be.
It was not.
Right.
No. There's so many different ones that are great for different reasons, and so depending on the situation, one of them will be better than another one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, they are great, and we were talking earlier on, just off camera, about the fact that your dad is very good at. He's like a director. You know, he's very good at having the canvas in front of him, the film in front of him, so to speak, and going, right, that needs to come out. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that there should go in. Yeah, that needs to be changed. At all facets of effect creation, the method, the presentation, the filming of the trailer, the look of the packaging. Yeah, it really is a very good creative process. And I know he doesn't sleep.
He actually doesn't.
You know, I saw a Facebook post this morning when I got up, right? And your dad had already been up 4 hours.
I tell you what, it's him. It's him that wakes up our pets.
Oh, right.
That's what it is. It's him that wants to be fed, I think, at the early hours of the morning.
Right. Okay.
Ridiculous.
But it just shows you that the creative process, and I think it's very admirable. I wish I could be as ruthless sometimes.
Ruthless. Well, I think it's good that. How long have you been doing magic for?
Do I have to say on camera? So next week it would be 34 years.
So before you were born, yeah?
Oh, I like you.
Paper cut, trying to get out of that.
Yeah.
So 34 years, yeah? And however long Dad's been doing it for, right? You guys still, every day, are passionate about magic. You always show me a new trick that you're thinking of, and it is good. Like, that's the good thing as well with Alakazam. You can feel the passion. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you're on the phone, you can hear the passion. Yeah. Well, you guys love it.
We do. Yeah. I mean, the thing is it doesn't stop, and you're right. We do love the effect. I mean, a new effect comes in, and we're like kids in a candy store. The effect comes in, and we're immediately sort of like, oh, what's that? Wow. All right. Okay, I like that. Oh, Dave, what do you think of this? And Dave would go, oh, that's really neat. Yeah. And then your dad will go, oh, let's have it. Oh, I like that. Okay. And then before you know it, bam, he's already started deciding, do you know what, that would look really good in this type of box with this kind of design around it. And then it just goes, it's like a flower, it just goes, like
blooms.
It blooms, yeah, and it is very good. But getting back to your dad as a creator, I think he has an eye for what makes good magic. Yeah. What makes good strong magic, and what makes it very clear for a spectator to see, very easy for a magician to do. Yeah. And I think that's the important aspect. Of certainly being creative is being able to go, do you know what? I've taken all these bits away, and now I have, I have a pure thing.
Definitely.
So what did you think of? Because I know you had a list that you were going through.
So so basically, on my list, I was going to say, it's hard. I was saying earlier, it's hard to kind of pick one because he's had so many inputs on other tricks. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But Peter Nardi, his name on the box. Yeah. Common Sense is fantastic. Yeah. It's a great trick just to have in your wallet or wherever. It's in my wallet all the time. And basically, it's a little packet of perfume cards. Or perfume cards, that's that weird enough.
Perfume cards?
Perfume, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, thank you. And then they take, can't think of one, you can tell which perfume they're thinking of. So ones like that are fantastic. Then you got Simplex Montier. Yeah. I won't say the one you're doing, obviously. No. V-Deck is great. But then also, which I've chosen, is the Extractor.
Right.
And the performance is going to come after I've just finished talking.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic.
Okay, all right. And of course, you mentioned there that, it influences on other stuff as well. Things like we were talking about the Assassin wallet earlier on Hollywood or Bust.
That's the thing. I didn't even get into the wallets. They're flipping amazing.
Yeah, so certainly the input is far and wide. So it was a tough choice. I went for a bit of a departure. I was going to do something that I thought would fit my performing style a little bit more, but I chose Sharpie through card.
Oh.
Yes, I chose Sharpie through card.
Fantastic.
Because it is very direct plot, easy method.
It's insane.
And it's that. You want one of those effects where people go away going, boom. Then STC certainly
it is
fits
honestly
the bill.
insane.
Okay, so we're going to see your Extractor performance in a little while, the E2 performance. But this is my good self performing Sharpie through card. Harry,
yes.
We have a deck of cards here on the table. What I would like you to do, kind sir, is just slide a card forward towards yourself.
I'll go for this one right.
Is it a picture or a number card? That's what I want to know.
Number.
Excellent, okay. It's a pen. Uncap the pen, just write your name across the face of there. That's the face of the card, not your face.
Okay.
I was actually dared to do that.
By who?
Your dad.
Right, there's two ways. Andy, there's two ways of doing this, alright?
No, we're not doing that.
Oh.
Not going there.
Okay, I've wrote it.
Excellent, okay. You could have recapped the pen.
Sorry.
Excellent, okay.
Happy.
I'll take the cards.
Six
of
hearts.
hearts.
Yeah.
That was easy.
I wrote my full name
mind
just in case
reading.
there's another Harry.
Yeah, just in case there's another Harry Nardi right in this room at this time. But you got your name on it. That's fine. What we also have here is a pen. Now you may not know this about Sharpie pens, but if you take them like that, you just rub them a little bit on the table. It does two things. One, it pushes the cap on a little bit more, and two, look, you can take it and you can push it right through said card like that. Now that goes all the way through. Do you want to just take hold of the top of the pen, hold it tightly for me, and if I just go like that, what that will do is that will actually reseal just like this, and that leaves us just a deck of cards. That is the amazing Sharpie through card, STC by Peter Nardi, and it is a lovely effect.
It's fantastic.
It's one of those effects that you go straight into it, you kick them straight between the eyes, and
you do
that. Bang! Not physically, obviously. But it does. It's one of those effects that I love because of how strong it is and how easy it is to do.
And I think he created this as well because when he used to gig a lot more than he does now, he used to do tricks that were very simple and visual, and I used to get wicked reactions. Then he would perform the stuff that takes so much sleight of hand, so much messing about, so much more practice, and I'd get an okay reaction.
Yeah.
So he was like, this is going to be perfect. And it is perfect. The reactions you get are insane. A signed card, they just use the pen, they hold the pen, they basically melt it out.
Yeah, and it just goes back to what we've said previously, the effect needs to be clear. Yeah. This is clear. Yeah. It really doesn't matter how you get there. It just needs to be clear to your audience. It needs to be, it needs to register with them, and STC certainly does that. Yeah. So if you've not experienced the power of Sharpie through card before, then check it out. It's on our website, and could be yours today.
Absolutely. And I will just say, guys, it comes in red or blue or Academy Elites. You do not get a deck included though. So if you select red, then get a red deck with it if you haven't got one already.
Yes.
Lovely.
If you have a Harry versus Andy challenge that you want to send in, then please send them in to sales@alakazam.co.uk, and we will talk more about that next week. And you'll see the card and coin one next week from Johnny Copes, and then that will put us back on track.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So this is something to finish up with. This is Liam Montier's The Sign. A bit of a different kind of trick. It's on playing cards, but it's not using playing cards. This is actually an effect using star signs. So immediately something that is very personable to an audience or to a spectator, and from a method point of view, very easy to perform as well.
Very easy.
So this kind of went under the radar a little bit last year, which is a shame because the cards that you get are extremely nice, and like I said, it's very easy to perform as well, and yet has a very strong impact.
Yeah.
So just to finish up here on the product side of things, check out Liam Montier's The Sign. It is up on our website. It does have free shipping on it. So if you have not had a look at this before, then check out the trailer now.
Hello, I'm Liam Montier and I'm pleased to share with you a brand new trick called The Sign. This is the most direct zodiac divination routine I think it's possible to imagine. It uses a super simple method, pretty much self-working, and there's no process. You don't need to sort of play hangman and guess the letters and hope they can spell Sagittarius. There's no sort of procedure involved that slowly leads up to the climax. They just tell you their star sign and boom, you reveal that you knew it. It's an absolute killer trick, and let's take a look at it now. I've got quite into this horoscope malarkey. I never used to believe in like the stars aligning and telling us secrets about our love life or whatever, but now I always check out the horoscopes in the newspapers and I've gotten really good at it. For example, what star sign are you? Gemini, okay. I haven't learnt them all off by scratch, so I've got these cards. There's one on each one. Which one's Gemini? Ah, there we go. Gemini is the twins, as it turns out. Now that's a good one because that basically means that you're quite impulsive and quite passionate, very positive sort of traits to have. And of course, there's no way I could have known that in advance. You could have been a Taurus or an Aries or a Pisces or an Aquarius. I don't know them all. Capricorn, Sagittarius. We had Scorpio and Libra. We had Virgo and Leo the lion, or Cancer the crab. You could have been any of those. But it just so happened that you were a Gemini. And even more weird is the fact that I had a feeling you would be before we even met today. That is the sign.
So that's Liam Montier's The Sign.
It's
so that's up on the website, so check it out.
It is awesome. Once again, it's different. Your spectators won't associate it with a card trick because it's not.
No.
You know what I mean? Even though it uses cards, and you do use some card techniques, it's not a card trick.
No, exactly.
It's great.
Exactly. So we've had quite a very mix today.
We have
had two books.
Mixed.
We have had. I'm glad you managed to say it right.
Yeah.
We have the Illusionear by Carlos Vergara. We have the Shift Volume 2 by Benjamin L. We have Digits of Deception. Ooh,
Bang.
By Alan Morrison. The Amazing TK Bolt,
which is fantastic.
We've talked about Sharpie Food Cards. We've also talked about the Extractor E2. And lastly, but not leastly, we have The Sign by Liam Montier.
Once again, awesome.
So guys, thank you very much for joining us on today's vlog. We hope that you've liked what you've seen. If you do want us to talk about anything in particular, then please email in or give us a call or approach us on live chat or speak to us at the Blackpool Convention, which is coming up soon. Loads of great releases there.
Honestly, since I've been there, this is the strongest year, I'd say.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Fantastic. You're going to love what we've got in store. Guys, please come over and say hi, come and have a look at the new products, and come and look at all the amazing stuff that is on our stand.
Sweet.
So, only leaves me to say thank you so much for joining us again on this week's Alakazam Video Blog. We hope to see you next time. In the meantime, me and Harry both wish you a good weekend, and we will see you next week.
Super exciting news, guys. We've just announced our brand new show coming to the Lowry in Manchester on the 10th of April. Check this out.
4MG!
That is your card, the 7 of clubs. Can you please hold it high above your head for everyone to see?
It is.